Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Let's discuss briefly language attitudes. Language attitudes are evaluative reactions to different language varieties. So when people react differently to different language varieties, these different reactions are referred to as language attitudes. They reflect, at least in part, two sequential cognitive processes: social categorization and stereotyping. First, listener use linguistic cues, accent to infer speaker's social group membership. This is easy to understand. Most of the people, when they listen to the people, they identify the group or the society or the social status of a person through his accent or pronunciation or any other grammatical feature. Second, based on the categorization, they attribute to speaker stereotypic traits associated with those inferred group membership. Now the second one is they associate very stereotypical traits and characteristics to the people when they listen to their language variety. Language attitudes are organized along two evaluative dimensions. The first one is status, whether a person is intelligent or educated when they listen to a variety of a language. And solidarity, whether the language spoken to them is friendly or pleasant. Past research has primarily focused on documenting attitudes towards standard and non-standard language varieties. In the past, there were two concerns: whether a person is speaking standard variety or non-standard variety. Standard varieties are those that adhere to codified norms defining correct usage in terms of grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary, whereas non-standard varieties are those that depart from such norms in some manner. If you have come across the topic what is standard language and what is not standard language, then the differentiation between standard variety and non-standard variety in this case will be easier for you to understand. Standard and non-standard varieties elicit different evaluative reaction along the status and solidarity dimensions. Status attributions are based primarily on perception of socio-economic status. The socio-economic status is your social status, whether you are educated or not, whether you are rich or not. Because standard varieties tend to be associated with dominant socio-economic groups within a given society. Standard speakers are typically attributed more status than non-standard speakers. Solidarity attribution tend to be based on group loyalty, whether someone is friendly or pleasant. Language is an important symbol of social identity because identity is expressed through language, and people tend to attribute more solidarity to members of their own linguistic communities, and it is a universal phenomenon, especially when that community is characterized by high or increasing vitality, status, demographics, or institutional support. As a result, non-standard language varieties can sometimes possess covert prestige in the speech community in which they are the speech norms. Language attitudes are socialized early in life because the more you grow in a society, you develop a particular attitude, linguistic attitude to different language varieties within that society and outside that society. At a very young age, children tend to prefer their own language variety. However, most, if not all, children gradually acquire the attitudes of a dominant group, showing a clear status preference for standard over non-standard varieties around the first year of formal education and sometimes much earlier. Language attitudes can be socialized through various agents, including educators in schools and colleges, institutions, peers, their friends, family, and the media. Because language attitudes are learned, they are inherently prone to change. They are dynamic. They change with the passage of time. Language attitudes may change in response to shifts in intergroup relations and government language policies, as well as more dynamically as functions of the social comparative context in which they are evoked. Once evoked, language attitudes can have myriad behavioral consequences. with negative attitudes typically promoting prejudices, discriminations, and problematic social interactions between the people of different group or within the same group. This was a brief discussion about what language attitude is and how it is developed in the people in a society. Thank you for watching.